Mama Teni was so disturbed. She stood up and walked around the house that night thinking deep. Her apprentice Ada stirred in her sleep on the mat near the door. The young girl had been with her for 2 years, loyal and hardworking. Mama Teni's gaze lingered on her. Could she do it? Could she take Ada into the forest and leave her as an offering? The thought made her stomach churn. But as she remembered the whispers, the clawing shadows, and the cold hands gripping her throat, a dark voice inside her whispered, "Better her than you." The next day, Mama Teni acted as if nothing was wrong. She served food, laughed with customers, and even gave extra portions to the regulars. But inside, she was planning. As night approaches, she called Ada aside. "Come with me," she said, forcing a smile. "I need you to help me gather herbs from the forest." Ada nodded eagerly. She trusted Mama Teni like a mother. They walked into the dark forest, the only sounds being the rustling leaves and the distant hoot of an owl. As they neared the iroko tree, Mama Teni's hands trembled. She reached into her wrapper, fingers closing around a small knife. All she had to do was strike. Just one cut. Let the spirits take her. Then Mama Teni would be free. She turned to Ada. The girl was kneeling, plucking leaves, her face innocent and unaware. Mama Teni raised the knife. Then a gust of wind howled through the trees, and the spirits' whispers filled the air.
"She is not worthy."
The voices hissed. Mama Teni gasped, dropping the knife. The shadows twisted angrily around her, their forms shifting.
"You cannot trick us. We want a soul of true blood."
A cold realization gripped Mama Teni's heart. The spirits did not want a stranger. They wanted someone bound to her by blood, her own flesh and blood. Ada turned to her, confused. "Mama, are you okay?" Mama Teni forced a shaky smile. "Yes, child. I think I have enough herbs. Let's go back." Sleep was impossible. Mama Teni lay awake, sweat pouring down her face. The spirits whispered in the shadows of her room, unseen but present. "Your time is running out." She thought of her only daughter, Teni, who lived in a nearby village with her husband. Could she do it? No, she couldn't. But the spirits did not care for her hesitation. That night, as she sat trembling in bed, she saw them, dark figures crouching at the foot of her mat, watching her with glowing red eyes. Her blood turned to ice. The figures had no face, but she knew what it was. A warning. She had one night left. By morning, Mama Teni was falling apart. Her body was weak, her eyes sunken. She had no appetite, and even her customers noticed something was wrong. Her final night was approaching, and she had no plan. The spirits wanted a true blood offering, and that meant Teni. Tears burned her eyes. She had sacrificed many things in life, but could she sacrifice her own child? That night, she sat in front of her shrine, her hands trembling as she lit a candle. "Great spirits," she whispered, "there must be another way." The shadows in the room deepened. The flame flickered. The voices returned, hissing like the wind through dead leaves.
"A debt is a debt, Mama Teni. Blood must be paid."
She had only a few hours left. If she did not bring a worthy soul, the spirits would drag her away instead. The final night had arrived. Mama Teni sat in the dim glow of her lantern, staring at the flickering flame as if it held the answers she desperately needed. The spirits had made it clear she must offer her own blood. Her daughter, Teni. The thought made her stomach churn. Teni was her only child, the one she had struggled for, the one she had fed from her own breast. Could she really summon her home and lead her to death? Her mind fought between fear and love, but fear was winning. The spirits had given her power, wealth, and fame. She had taken their gifts and betrayed them. Now they wanted payment, and if she refused, she knew what awaited her. Mama Teni later made up her mind. She took a deep breath and sent a message to Teni through a traveling trader. "Come quickly, my child. Your mother needs you." She expected relief, but all she felt was guilt. She had just summoned her daughter to her death, as she prepared her stall for the evening. Her apprentice, Ada, watched her carefully. "Mama, you don't look well," she said, frowning. Mama Teni forced a weak smile. "I am fine, Ada, just tired." But Ada wasn't convinced. Lately, she had noticed strange things. Mama Teni talking to herself at night, waking up with scratches on her skin, and the deep, haunted look in her eyes. Ada had heard whispers in the village, rumors of dark dealings, and she had a terrible feeling that whatever was happening to Mama Teni was not of this world. That night, as Mama Teni closed from the restaurant, she went into her secret room. Ada quietly followed her into the house, and what she saw froze her in place. Inside, Mama Teni knelt before a small, hidden shrine at the back of the room. Candles flickered, casting eerie shadows on the walls. A bowl of dark liquid sat before her, and she was murmuring in a language Ada had never heard. Then the shadows around Mama Teni shifted. Ada clapped a hand over her mouth to keep from screaming. The air was suddenly thick, heavy, wrong. Then she saw it. A tall, faceless figure crouched beside Mama Teni, its long fingers resting on her shoulders. Though it had no mouth, its voice filled the room. "She is coming. Be ready." Ada ran. She didn't stop until she was outside, gasping for breath. Something evil was happening, and she had to do something before it was too late. At midnight, Teni arrived. She stepped out of a small cart, carrying a basket of gifts for her mother. She hadn't seen Mama Teni in months and was eager to surprise her. She didn't know she had walked straight into a trap. Mama Teni greeted her with open arms, her smile hiding the storm raging inside her. "Forgive me, my child," she thought as she led Teni inside. She had made her choice. Tonight, before the spirits could come for her, she would give them what they wanted. But outside, hiding in the shadows, Ada had seen everything, and she was not going to let it happen. Watch out for episode 3. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.